In the United States, citizenship is granted at the exact moment of birth. Under a legal principle known as jus soli, or right of the soil, taking your first breath within the borders of the country instantly makes you an American, regardless of your parentage. This standard birth certificate from 1937 illustrates the mechanics of this right. For over a century, this simple local record of the place of birth has served as the primary legal proof required to claim citizenship. Hours into his second term, President Donald Trump signed an executive order aimed at ending this automatic process for the children of undocumented immigrants and temporary visa holders. This action immediately clashed with a century of legal tradition, prompting federal judges across multiple states to block the order before it could even take effect. Approximately 255,000 babies are born in the U.S. to non-citizen parents every year. This same legal pathway has historically applied to everyone, from the children of farm workers to high-ranking officials like Secretary of State Marco Rubio or Second Lady Osha Vance. If the order had stood, it would have created a massive administrative logjam. Hospitals and parents would be required to provide proof of a parent's legal residency before a newborn could receive a social security number or a passport. The order also created a high risk of statelessness. Because many countries do not automatically grant citizenship to children born to their nationals abroad, thousands of infants were at risk of belonging to no nation at all. By transforming a routine hospital delivery into a battle over immigration status, the policy forced the Supreme Court to intervene to prevent a cascade of legal conflicts across the country. To decide the case, justices returned to the handwritten text of the 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868. The text contains a specific qualifying clause following physical birth. It states individuals must also be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. The Trump administration argued that temporary visitors and undocumented immigrants do not owe political allegiance to the U.S. and therefore fall outside its legal jurisdiction. Under this interpretation, if the parents are not under American jurisdiction, the constitutional guarantee of citizenship does not pass to their children at birth. The fate of hundreds of thousands of people rested on whether the court would accept this narrow definition of a single phrase. In a 6-3 ruling, the court rejected the administration's argument. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that children born to parents unlawfully or temporarily present satisfy both elements of the Citizenship Clause. The majority relied on an 1898 precedent involving Wong Kim Ark. In that case, the court ruled that the U.S.-born child of Chinese nationals was a citizen, regardless of his parent's status. Roberts' logic was that anyone physically on American soil, with very few exceptions, like foreign diplomats, must obey U.S. laws, which makes them legally subject to its jurisdiction. This interpretation faced a sharp rebuke from Justice Clarence Thomas, who authored a 91-page dissenting opinion. Thomas argued that the 14th Amendment was designed specifically to secure rights for formerly enslaved people, and that using it to protect the children of temporary or undocumented visitors was a departure from its original intent. Despite the ideological divide, the majority prioritized the century-long application of the law over a disruptive new executive interpretation. As a result of the ruling, Trump's executive order was struck down as unconstitutional and never took effect. Instead of merely preserving the status quo, the ruling established a higher legal bar for any future attempt to reinterpret the amendment's language. The court clarified that birthright citizenship cannot be undone unilaterally by a president. It would require the much larger undertaking of a constitutional amendment. This ensures that the citizenship of everyone, from everyday citizens to figures like Marco Rubio or Kash Patel, remains anchored in the same legal protection. The ruling reaffirms that American citizenship remains tied to the land itself, surviving a significant challenge to the way the nation defines its members.